thank you, Spirit, for giving me the opportunity to share the wisdom, the knowledge, the information that you so gracefully share, not only through me, but through so many other star seeds that are here on this planet. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to share this. And I take this sacred knowledge with so much gratitude and love and openness. And I pray that all who receive the information on this video are blessed, expanded, given the opportunity to grow, not only emotionally, but also spiritually, and to help them in this ascension process that we're in these times that we're in. I want to thank you for being part of my journey, even at the times that I wasn't even aware that you were there. I want to thank you for the love, the compassion, the support. And I ask Archangel Michael to set a beautiful shield of protection so that those who are entering into this portal of love, that is this video, are protected. And this, if there's any attachments that keep them from opening their hearts, I ask that they're removed and sent to a perfect place, to a place of light, of love, without any resistance, but rather with gratitude for the lessons that we learn through them. I want to ask Archangel Raphael to come through and apply the beautiful emerald green light into this video so that this video is healing with every single word I say. I ask you, Spirit, to use me as your vessel, and I only invite those at the highest vibration, the vibration of our Creator, of our Creatrix. Aho, thank you. I call upon our ancestors who want to share their wisdom, the good ones, the ones that want to help us move forward in this journey, that want to help us understand the reasons behind the things that are happening within our families or within ourselves. Those who want to help us, guide us, help heal us and our family trees. I ask you forward. I ask the angels of light to come forward and illuminate not only this video, but each one of the souls that are coming here to watch this. I call upon the higher self of the soul that is listening to this video so that all that is for their highest good is downloaded to them right now. I call upon the rainbow colors to activate the loving energy of expansion, of love, compassion, openness, expression, creativity. I bless this video with love, unconditional love, and so it is. Aho. I offer this to you, beautiful soul. Thank you for being here, and namaste. My name is Jakara, and I am a spiritual healing facilitator, and I mainly work with the Akashic Records to clear programs from other lifetimes and this lifetime to help you evolve, to help you move towards your highest expression. If you feel called to do any work in the Akashic Records and to clear energies that are not serving your highest good, then you're more than welcome to set an appointment with me through my website, thebloominglotushealing.com. So today I am going to talk about twin flames and soul relationships. And the reason why I wanted to share this information here is because I do offer a class for this. And I am planning to open a class to help you navigate your soul relationships and teach you how to clear any sort of energies that are between you and those who are close to you at the soul level. So I kind of wanted to open up this conversation really teaching you how to tell the difference or to understand at a cognitive level, at a mental level, what is the difference so that you can understand the experience here on this planet as a human. So as humans, when we incarnate, right, we incarnate into this human experience, we originally are not in this physical form, right? We are on a spiritual form, and that spiritual form doesn't have necessarily a form per se. It's just basically energy, right? And it's etheric energy. And um, this etheric energy is basically a piece, right, of a bigger piece, which is the all, the universe, right? And your soul is a piece of the universe. So as you go through the process of becoming more aligned with being in this 3D or this third dimension reality, which is where we live here on Earth, you really don't start here at the 3D. You start at the highest level possible, and you slowly go through certain stages. Kind of like if you think about it as more preparation, right? You go through all these stages until basically you get to the point where you are ready to come into the 3D. So so when you come into the 3D, into this human experience, into this body that you're in, you are also exposed to other energetic souls, right? Other energetic souls, or other energetic beings, which are going to be other souls just like you. And everything in the universe is really organized. There's a lot of organization. Even when things seem a little chaotic, there is an organized process for everything. So everything that you see here on this planet, especially when you're looking at how we go through different stages from being a little, being in the womb, and then being born, and then you know basically being a baby, and then going through those stages. All of these stages are also part of the journey at the spiritual level. So they may not look exactly the same, but they're just to kind of give you an idea that there is also a process, a staging process, that we go through as well as souls. And when we are first, let's say, created, right, which is going to be at the energetic level, right? We have a certain blueprint, a certain set of energies that are really very specific to our soul, and the combination is going to be very specific to us. So if you think about it, it's kind of like an energetic blueprint, right? Like or fingerprint. If you think about the fingerprint, how it's very unique to us, the same thing energetically, we have a fingerprint. And this is important to know because based on our fingerprint, and the combination of our blueprint, we're going to be basically, let's just say, grouped with other souls that are in that similar, or sometimes even provide, kind of like a combination of different energies that help us grow, that help us evolve. So the idea is that you're not all going to be exactly the same, but the idea is that you are part of that group, and there's going to be certain combinations that are very subtle that are going to help each soul evolve. And when we look at that, we're looking at what we call soul family. Okay, so soul family is not it's not necessarily in physical form. Your soul family, at this moment, you are connected to them in the etheric form. The etheric level, you're also existing at the etheric level, as well, at the same time as you exist in the physical level. So just remember that you're not necessarily removed from the etheric into, and then suddenly you're no longer existing in the etheric realms. That's not how it works. You're existing in both at the same time. So at this very moment, you are connected to all of your soul family. And there's different categories of the soul family that are talked about in the spiritual community. There is a very common type of relationship that is really a big conversation, right? Which is the twin flame. And I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit of the twin flame and the twin flame experience. And I really wanted to offer you a different perspective that maybe other people may not talk about. There is um, I want to say like a very specific path that so far a lot of twin flames have taken, which is the path of union, which is absolutely one of the paths of the twin flames, which is the path of union. However, I just want to invite you to open up to the experience of the fact that the path can be also a path of expression, of separation, for the purpose of healing. And this expression is not wrong, and there's nothing wrong with your experience, particularly because you haven't found that union. Of course, it's beautiful that that there's twin flames out there that are in union and they're doing this beautiful mission, that they're basically working on, that is definitely helping elevate the planet. So those who are truly in that energy of union, there's really nothing except the embodiment, right, that they have to be in, that they need to do. Really, there's really nothing that they have to do to really elevate those who are around them, because just being in that embodiment of union and love, and that unconditional love that they're in, does definitely make a ripple effect around them. So, that is a beautiful path. However, we choose certain paths to take on each lifetime, and sometimes there's going to be certain shifts that are going to happen. So when we are first created, like the blueprint, right, the blueprint that we are on, that we're in, we are basically, that's basically who we are at the soul level, right? Like that's our essence, right? The let's just say like our personality as a soul, right? And this personality doesn't necessarily have to follow one path only. There's going to be a need of the soul to experience different things, to be able to understand uh, itself in different experiences. So what I mean by that is, for example, uh, choosing the path of the twin flame, right, and then choosing the path of separation, so that you can understand what that feels like, what and what needs to be cleared at the karmic level. So a lot of us who are getting exposed to the twin flame information are being exposed to the path of union, which is a valid path, and and it is definitely a path that that twin flames do experience. However, there is the path of separation as well. And I just really wanted to bring this into the conversation because union is not the only way. There is the path of separation, not because there's something wrong with both souls, or because there's something that that you're not good enough or not worthy enough. It has nothing to do with that. At the spiritual realm, at the etheric realm, that's not really even part of the energy or the conversation or the understanding, right? Really, at that level, there's an understanding that there's always union, because both flames are really interconnected already, always, and they're always communicating at the etheric level, at the higher self level. They're always communicating and helping each other out. And then, of course, the higher self of each one of these souls, that is helping those who are incarnated. The higher self of each of those souls will give the guidance and the information needed to be able to help with their evolvement. So it's kind of like, think about it this way: when a soul incarnates and they want to work with their twin flame, they basically have some sort of agreement, right, of how they're going to show up in each other's lives, and what is it that they're going to do, if they're going to be on a path of union or a path of separation. So I hope that, if you're in this path of separation at this moment, regardless if you're actually meant to be in union or not, I hope that you are able to recognize that the path of separation really has a purpose, a beautiful purpose in your life. So, and the purpose is going to be specific to you, and you only you will know this. I can give you some examples on, what I believe that they can be based on my experience. However, my encouragement, I encourage you basically to really look within yourself to find out what exactly are you learning in this experience. What is it? What are the shadows that are showing up for you, and really working through that path. So it is a beautiful journey. And yes, I know it can be a little strange to say that it's a beautiful journey if you're going through a path of separation, but it is, because it is a path of union to yourself as well. Sometimes that path of separation really is a path of union with self. And we are, we do get fragmented through our process of incarnations, especially if we incarnated many times on this earth. You got to remember that we've been through many experiences from other lifetimes that are very traumatic at the soul level. And that can fragment, the energy, and it could also create a misalignment at the soul level for each one of us. So the idea is to be shown this through the path of separation so that we can learn how to find that union with self. So that is really one of the main things that the path of the twin flame really wants to encourage a lot of those who are in that path of separation. Is really not separation. Is really a path of union with self, so that you can really be aligned with your soul. So another aspect that I wanted to mention here as well is that you could potentially change soul families as you evolve. And one of the most recent things that happened in my own experience was that I recently got married, and my twin flame is not incarnated. My twin flame is actually up in the ethers supporting me. However, on this lifetime, I did have a former twin flame that I had to um, do some work with, and get some of that, let's just say, karmic energy cleared. And it's really interesting when I look back in the past 7 years of knowing this beautiful soul, of how much of that karmic clearing has happened just by us doing the internal work and also together. And we did go through that, process of that magnetic energy, and also that separation. And for the longest time, I thought, oh well, maybe this is my twin flame, and I was getting a no. But then later I realized that no, he's not my current twin flame, but he was my former twin flame. So that's also something that can happen as well. And I don't really think that this is really discussed out there so much, and hence the reason why I wanted to bring this perspective out there for everyone to recognize, is that sometimes the person that you might think is not your twin flame could potentially be a past twin flame that was part of your old soul family, that you're working through certain karmic events, certain karmic things that you have to clear between you and them. Thankfully, with spiritual response therapy, I've been able to clear a lot of that karmic stuff between him and I. And now we have a beautiful, loving relationship. And there's this sense of understanding that we are, definitely interconnected at the soul level, and that we were definitely in the same soul family at some point. Even though we're not anymore, there's still that level of closeness and beauty between us. So that's really powerful. It's a really powerful experience. And of course, everyone's experience with the twin flame journey is going to be different. And that's another thing I want to encourage you to do, to really stay present with your own experience. Even though I am sharing this experience with you, I don't want this experience to become a dogma either. I don't want this, but what I mean by that is that I don't want my perception, because it's my own experience, to become the only way, the only truth. It is my truth because it was my own experience. However, everyone's going to have a different path. Hence the reason why there's not only one path in the twin flame journey. The twin flame journey is going to look different for each soul. And because each soul is going to have, again, certain amount of karmic ties, of entanglements, of programs, and different energies that need to be worked through that are specific to those two souls. So, going back to what I was mentioning in regards to the souls as when they're being created, right? So once the soul finds the soul family, there's going to be kind of like clusters that are created, and these clusters are basically like, imagine like there is a big pod, and within that big pod there are other mini pods within that big pod with, of that soul family. And depending on where you are located in the pods, you're going to have a certain relationship with those who are part of your soul family. So, for example, you can have those who are part of your oversoul, right? So they're part of your same pod, right? That same soul family, like that big family, right? However, they're not as close because they're part of the oversoul. But then you have those who are the twin flames, and anyone who is a flame, and there's different types of flames as well. So not all flames are going to be twin flames. There's some other flames that do exist that are also as powerful and transformative, souls that come into our lives. So you have the twin flame, which is basically the one that lives inside the same mini pod that you're in. So remember, there's a big pod where all of the other little pods are in, right? And then there's that where you live, there's going to be other souls that live in there. And so, surprise, surprise, not everyone has just one twin flame, right? So we have all of those who live inside that little pod, all of those souls who are in there in that very close, imagine that very close little pod, right? Like that close knit room. Those are all your twin flames. So yes, we pair up with one specific one to balance each other out, but all of the other ones are also your twin flames. So then you have your flame, let's say just your flame brothers, right? So then you have, your flame siblings. You have the twin, right? And then you have the siblings. So those are not twins. And those are going to be the ones that are, imagine like on that pod, there's other pods attached to that pod. And those who are attached to the pod around your pod, they're going to be also flames because they're quite literally next to your pod. So those are going to be your siblings, right? And the energy it can be very similar to the twin flame, even though it's not the same. So that magnetic energy, that feeling that you know them for a long time, that you've been through so many lifetimes together, all of that exists in with this type of relationship. Then you have one relationship out, which is still a let's just say another flame, and that's going to be part of your flame, let's just say cousins, right? And your flame cousins are going to be other ones that are part of the same, let's just say the same bunch, right? The same bunch of the bigger pod. All of those who are in there, they're your flame, let's just say your flame family, and or your flame cousins. And then outside of that, let's say you have your big pod, right? And then outside of that big pod, you're going to have your oversoul. So you have all of these expressions of relationships, and the closer you are to a soul. So for example, any soul who would be categorized as a flame, those souls are going to be very, very transformative in your life. They're going to come in and you're going to feel this sense of knowing them forever. You're going to feel that like they're your family. You're going to feel like, like you can understand each other at a deep level. You almost don't even have to explain yourself to them because there's just this understanding, right? So, how does that work in relationship to your experience here on this earth? So, the interesting thing about this is kind of like I mentioned on the last video that I posted, where I was talking about how to clear children and the ancestral clearings that we do with children. So, and I was kind of mentioning a little bit about soul family. So it's interesting because with soul family, you could potentially have people who are part of your soul family who incarnate here on earth as part of your ancestral family you're going to be part of. But that's not always the case. Sometimes your soul family is going to be incarnated in other families. Okay. And so Jakara, can my can my mom be my twin flame? Absolutely. She can be your twin flame. Can my brother be my twin flame? Absolutely. He can be your twin flame. And that's the reason why I said not all twin flames are meant to be in a romantic union, right? So because sometimes that twin flame relationship is going to be in a familial relationship that is basically there to help you uncover sometimes or clear or help you heal certain ancestral things that you're helping that family tree as two souls are coming together within that family tree. So this is the importance of understanding your soul's experience in general, right? So like if you look, if you zoom out as a soul, you have your experiences that you have on your own that you decide to have on your own that have nothing to do with any agreements that you may have with other souls, right? But then you also have the experience of incarnating into a lineage, maybe more than one time, because you're looking to help elevate and clear the lineage and bring those light codes into the lineage, right? And then you also have the soul relationship, which is always there, regardless if you are connected in this lifetime or not, like regardless if you're connected to any soul family or not on this lifetime, you're always connected to them in the ethers. And there's always help that is being shared with you in the ethers, that they share with you through their higher self. So that's the beauty of it, is that you don't have to feel like you're separated, right? So going back to where my husband and I, when we got married back in November, and in September we went to an ayahuasca retreat, and we were really just looking to heal ourselves, to really prepare ourselves for what what we're about to embark. We everyone comes with their own baggage, everyone comes with their own stuff, and of course we have to be aware of this stuff and try to do our best to show up the best way that we can. Of course, nobody's perfect, but we try our best, right? We try to be the best version of ourselves for ourselves and also for our loved ones. So the interesting thing about this whole thing is that when he and I met, I remember just feeling like this, like I've known him for a long time, and and I was like so confused, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then later I find out that he is part of my flame family. So he was, let's just say, a flame cousin, right? So he's a flame cousin. And I was like, okay, that's great, and I already knew at that point that that my flame that my twin flame wasn't incarnated. So I was like, okay, that's fine, that this is amazing, I have a someone part of my soul family. This is beautiful. This lets me know that I am on the right path, right? That I chose someone that's really closely related to me. I felt like that would be amazing, right? So like I was calling that my for the past 7 years, so that was perfect. But then later on, when we go to this retreat, I find out that he shifted pods, and now he's not a twin flame, but he is a flame sibling, right? So it was really interesting because when I looked at the changes, I was really surprised because I thought that that was not possible, but it is possible to shift while you're incarnated. So later down the road, I found out that I got this download from spirit saying that the reason why he shifted is because he is doing so much healing work. So then he wanted to get closer so that we can do deeper healing together. So the interesting thing about it is that we can switch our soul families for the purpose of growth, for the purpose of expansion, and also for the purpose of helping others as well. So your soul is ever changing, is always creating, always expanding. So don't think that just because you have a relationship with someone on this lifetime, at the soul level, that relationship stays the same the entire time. That of course that is possible, yes, but it's also possible to shift. So if you notice, for example, in your life that you had this very close relationship with someone, but then suddenly there was like this redirection that happened, right? And then there's like this drifting apart that happened. Don't take that personally. Don't take it to heart. You didn't do anything wrong. Sometimes the souls need to expand even further, so then they shift over different families to be able to expand and to gain the knowledge or to gain the energy that they need to be able to integrate the lessons and understand better the human experience, because that's really what we're doing here. We're here to understand the human experience, to understand ourselves better so that we can integrate that, so that we can alchemize that, so that we can grow from that. And in turn, when we go back into that beautiful space in the ethers, we're able to move closer to spirit as we go. So not that we're not close to spirit, but closer to the understanding, right? So as we go through that process, we can choose to continue to incarnate, or we can choose to just serve from the ethers. So whatever that looks like for us when we move into the ethers again, that's really entirely up to us. That's the beauty of our experience, is that we get that full understanding that we are fully responsible and fully in charge of our path. So it's really empowering if you really think about it, and how we have that free will to choose to either incarnate or not. So I hope that this helped you understand a little bit more about soul families, and also about twin flame journeys, and what the twin flame journey is for you. I hope that you can see a mirror in this experience of really understanding that your experience is unique to you, and there's nothing wrong with you if it doesn't fit the mold. If it doesn't fit the mold, that's perfectly fine. If you're interested in joining my soul relationships class, I'm going to invite you to sign up for my email list on my website at thebloominglotushealing.com, so that you know when I am ready to launch my course. I'm going to be launching the course next year. It's going to be in January of 2023, and I will be launching it via the app Evolve Me. So you can go to evolveme.com, and I will put the descriptions below, and you can follow me there as well, so that way you know when I am ready to launch the course. On this course, I'm going to be going deeper into this conversation about soul families, and also we're going to be learning a little bit more about all of the different experiences with each category. And then also we will go deeper into learning how to determine the purpose of the soul relationship with this person that is showing up in your life. You can determine, you'll be able to learn to pinpoint if this person is in fact your twin flame or not. So you'll be able to learn that information, and you'll be empowered through the entire process. I will be teaching you how to navigate your own records so that you can find this information yourself, and not only that, clear any energies between you and that person. Yes, you are capable of doing that, and yes, you're capable of doing even more. So if this resonates with you, if this is something that you're interested in, definitely make sure that you go on the link below and sign up for my email list. And also make sure that you follow me on evolveme.com, so that you are notified when the course is ready to go. Now, if you are interested, make sure that you get a pendulum, because you're going to be using the pendulum to navigate this. And I will be sharing some charts with you that you'll be able to print, and we'll be able to move through and learn all of this beautiful, amazing, loving work that Spirit has for us. Yeah, and I can't wait to share this with y'all. So I hope that you loved this video as much as I loved making it. I hope that all of this made sense. I kind of go into a flow, and I don't like to be, scripted or anything. So I hope this wasn't too disorganized for you because it's coming directly from source. But if you have any questions, of course, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll get to you as soon as I can. And then, and also, what is your twin flame journey? Share it in the comments and let us know, what is your own experience, and how has your experience unfolded for you? And definitely share in here, because I love to see the comments. I love to see what you guys have to say. I want to start these conversations. Let's grow this beautiful community. Let's grow together. Let's learn together. And one last thing, I wish you a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful rest of your week. And I want to invite you to join me on Instagram every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I am doing free readings live. So you can join me on Instagram. And my handle is The Blooming Lotus Healing. So you can go there every Monday at 7 p.m. I am doing live readings. We can get to know each other even more if you want to connect more with me. And I look forward to seeing you every Monday, and of course, every week here. Love you, and namaste.